As we had mentioned just a few moments ago, the convention begins with its domination by the Girondists, the more moderate elements of the revolution, those representative of the richer and middle class elements of French society. The revolution takes on a more conservative bent, with rights of voting and holding office only given to those individuals who hold property. But the convention does, before it eventually goes by the wayside, does institute a number of other reforms, and let's consider some of these. Well, something that's very important, one of the first times in the history of the Western world that this took place, the convention establishes a nationwide system of public education. Imprisonment for individuals who owe money is ended, and so there is no more debtor's prison in France. Slavery is ended in all of France's colonies. And the metric system, the system we use to this day, was adopted in France during that period of time of the Revolution. And there was a plan to draw up a comprehensive system of laws which to run the country. And finally, the final blow to feudalism in France takes place when the system in which the oldest son inherits all of his father's estates, that system known as primogeniture, is ended, and so feudalism in its final essence is gone for good in France. The convention ends, and basically in 1795 the Directory, the last phase of the French Revolution, comes into place. But unfortunately the Directory, which was a body of government, an executive body within the French Revolution, suffered from corruption and poor administration. And during its 4-year reign, the people grew poor and became more frustrated with the government because of the government's lack of ability to efficiently run the country. And perhaps because of the struggles that the French people went through during all the phases of the French Revolution, a strong sense of national identity, a sense of belonging, a feeling of belonging to a nation develops. So the whole idea of nationalism takes place, and obviously this is why we're studying the French Revolution within the context of nationalism. And the French people gain a very strong sense of identity and a sense of pride in their country, and they become devoted to it. So the whole idea of the basic watchwords of the French Revolution, equality, liberty, and fraternity, become the basic elements of this strong feeling of nationalism within the French state. Perhaps the only ray of light, so to speak, that is shown on during the Directory's presence during the French Revolution is its success in the military with foreign wars. And not surprisingly, it was a popular and victorious military leader who would eventually become the head of the Directory and eventually overthrow it and end what was known as the 10-year period of the Revolution. This individual is a name that's quite well known, Napoleon, and even though he's not French by birth and he was not a noble person, because of the principles of the French Revolution, he is able, and also because of his great skill as a leader, a military leader, is able to rise through the ranks and become head of the French revolutionary military and eventually of the French government. And so we see the various phases of the French Revolution in the 10-year period, and we see the great number of achievements that are established, principles as well. And most importantly, what we see is that the French Revolution is the pivotal event for the development of French nationalism. And as we have looked at the various phases of the French Revolution, we understand why that actually was the case.